good to go. We're good to go.
Paige said he was getting crushed in round 1 by Yongfei Gay, but 50 points, and somehow came back and won the game. Why?
What is it? Augusta Suji, Troublemaster.
That sounds like a fun game.
That sounds like a frustrating game to lose, honestly.
Yeah.
If you lost that, it'd be a little bit tilting. 3 hours and lose to something like stupid. You know, I've done that at Go Congress. It's really tilting to put 3 hours of constant effort and then lose at the very end to something really stupid.
Didn't you, like, self-Atari thing? I was getting ready to deliver that.
Yeah. Again, shout-outs to...
The tree in Colorado.
Yeah. Again, shout-outs to SumekoDragon.com. We are seeking 5 new free trials, which it's free to try, in order to just justify taking the time off work today. If we get the 5, then we are going to do this again tomorrow. If not, then we're just going to go back to work tomorrow. Okay, so Calvin is white, and this is another Korean Yeongusang dude. I love that Diagonal came back. It's so cool. Because the Diagonal was like, oh, this is a famous move that Honimbo Shusaku was like, this move will always be good. And then they came out with Komi, which is bonus points. They came out with the bonus points for white, and they're like, okay, maybe this move isn't as good anymore because the game is a little bit more even instead of just being in black's favor. But the AI came out. The AI is like, no, guys, like, Shusaku was right. Like, this is a good move. And so it's popular again.
The Diagonal coming back is the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love how excited you guys get about things that I just don't understand. I'm like, it's a move.
Look, you need to watch... I've got to get you to watch a Karanogo. Oh my gosh.
Well, we were watching it, and then you got bored.
Okay, you wanted to watch it in English, too. Oh my gosh, the English is horrible.
No, I said put on whatever.
Okay.
You picked English.
Well, I was trying to make it easy for you, and then I hated it.
Though, to be fair, it's been falling in popularity the last year. How rude.
Meta always changes. People don't like the same things. This is an interesting move. I would expect something on the left, or maybe, like, here or something.
Yeah, Clossi Approach says open sides.
Clossi Approach will also say make a freaking base. But attachment here, huh? Interesting. Also, this is an unconventional move, so I guess black is going to try to take advantage of it. This is, there are questions to be had. Oh, look, black did it. Haha, that was the move of the game.
I love you.
Wow, that is a big corner.
That is wild.
That is cash. That's territory. Like, you could buy a house with that territory. That is also a lot of influence, but we have that beautiful double-digit Q wall. The DDK wall of 2-2-2 with a lot of cutting points.
Fia said, Seth has been playing Sanrensei at Congress. Real throwback. Dude,
Sanrensei is, like, a lot stronger than people might think it is because modern players just never learn it. So any of the OGs, they'll be able to crush people with Sanrensei just because they know it and modern players just never study it.
See, I used to play it back when I was, like,
beautiful shape.
Because I wanted to put it on the dots because it was nice.
Sanrensei is one of the worst things for DDKs.
That's what you told me, and I did not care.
I know. I love you. It's very scary for the opponent, and some very funny positions will come out if a DDK plays Sanrensei. Which, Sanrensei, for those who don't know, is the 3-star formation. So it's starting on the 3 stars.
Shiny.
Yeah, the 3-star opening formation for black is the Sanrensei.
But it's all on the 4th line, which I now understand, like, why that was so hard for me to use. But, like, there's too much other spaces. Just put it on the dots and we'll be fine.
This has got to be some sort of trick move, easy to screw up, like, corner pattern. Because this is so wild that this can't be, like,
there feels like so
made up. This has to be pre-studied. Yeah, this has to be pre-studied.
It's a framework Fuseki opening.
AI oh my gosh. Well, yeah, like I'm saying, like this has to be pre-studied with AI. There's no way they came up with this on the spot. Um, I have so many questions.
I have a lot of questions.
Okay. I have the perfect.
Paige said, sadly, I cannot confirm. This is out of my brain capacity.
Oh, they can't hear it. Oh no! Oh, well, if you know it, you know it. If you know it, you know it.
What? How? Why? I have so many questions.
That is the face and reaction of this corner.
Wild.
Oh my gosh! I'm not even gonna pretend. They just studied it. Okay, you can't do this without studying it. There's no way you can play this without studying it. This is like freaking Taisha level of complicated. This is a very confusing corner. Yeah.
Calvin secret.
Oh no! And the youngest thing
is week comes out and kicks everybody's butt.
Yeah, this is like super studied. There's no way that they're playing this and getting an even result without studying this. And it's a 4-point advantage for Calvin. So and Calvin has absolutely studied this.
The fact that both of them have studied it, though, is...
Youngusangs study everything. You should just assume the Youngusangs know every Joseki that the AI has come up with. They like, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how many hours they put into studying the variations. Like, you should just assume they know every corner pattern.
That's so boring.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just now found a way to
learning
make Go puzzles fun.
Is learning Go boring you?
You found
Try the SmegaDragon.com app using Conquer 24.
I was about to say, if you can find a way to make studying Josekis and like stuff like that fun, I will do it.
Josekis are corner patterns, for those who do not know. There's a lot of holy crap, this is complicated going on in this corner.
Amaranth said it is like weird flying knife.
This is... Yeah. Everything is weak at the same time, basically. Gross. Okay, so basically, that's alive. That's alive. Forcing moves against this. Weak. Question mark. Lots of question marks.
Fun.
Studying corner patterns is important when done correctly.
They use a lot of shapes, and Q players sleep on learning them.
Q players learn their comfort Josekis and don't learn any other patterns at all. And then they only play those 10 to 20 patterns. 10. I'll argue 10 patterns every single game. And they never learn anything else.
Just followed.
Thank you for the follow, Zuckerfox.
Oh, look at that ugly dumpling. That is such an ugly dumpling. Dumpling is a clump of stones with no points and bad lifelines. It's an ugly little dumpling.
Hi, Creakers.
Hey, Creakers.
Q players can learn shape knowledge from Joseki. I think it's hard to understand how to study them correctly.
It is. I definitely agree with you. But memorizing 10 and never looking at them again is not the correct answer.
See, I know you have like the really interesting way of studying it, where you basically go question every move and figure out why that's the move to play instead of just learning to play it.
More specifically, it's why is this cutting point not working? Why are they not making a base? And then who gets the influence? Who gets the territory? So it's either both players get territory, one player gets influence, the other gets territory. You have to know the responses to the cutting points and know how to make bases. Those are the keys and the patterns and shapes. In this one, every cutting point was ignored and activated, and everyone lived. So, complicated.
Paige says, so in my opinion, the most practical way to learn is repetition. So I think as long as you can repetition something, you will start to recognize those shapes in games throughout the board rather than just in the opening. That's why playing is the most practical way of learning.
Mm-hmm. And you can play bots to practice very quickly. If you just want someone quick to practice with without the pressure of playing a human being, you can play bots on sumegodragon.com. For free, actually. But if you want puzzles on top of that, you can use code Congress24 to get 50% off of your first month. And we are seeking 5 free trials, which it looks like it might not go the way. So we might just not stream tomorrow. That's unfortunate. Okay. Finally, I can start explaining stuff. This is really weak.
Yeah.
This is weak too, but it's surrounding Black's weakness. So it's quite a bit in a better position. There's a mega freaking wall right there that can go that way. This is mostly alive. It can be bullied, but it's alive.
Space. All of the cutting
every-
points and stuff up in that corner for white are stressing me out.
They're fine. And this is... Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, right
Over
here?
there, yeah,
Yeah, but these 2 stones are captured, so it's fine. It's just a forcing move.
I guess.
Yeah, no, you don't like the forcing moves.
I didn't realize that it makes eyes. I couldn't see it right.
It's fine. It's honestly, this is one of those shapes that are difficult to see without playing it hundreds of times.
So wait, what if Black plays
Q16 first so that it's not eyes anymore.
You would have to surround the whole position and then threaten that, which is one of the reasons you don't.
So something you leave for later.
That's why you don't play it, because if I get a move right here, then yeah, now I can go here and maybe kill you. You never know, right?
Yeah.
That's why you leave that stuff laying around.
I said, imagine showing this board to a Japanese pro 50 years ago.
My gosh, they would have a heart attack.
That was back when they were like super obsessed with like the patterns and everything, right?
Yeah, it was a really big beauty game. Like if the game wasn't beautiful shape wise, then it was probably considered bad. And then they were like, and then the Koreans came along. Were like, no, like we just like winning. Screw your shape and prettiness. We're gonna win the game. And then they were like, okay, maybe you have a good point. This is a really difficult move to play, but I think they're actually aiming at what you just said while trying to make it live. Yeah, so if you try to surround this.
Okay, let me see. I was about to say, let me see if I'm correct, because it's trying to make the freaking sword shape looking thing stronger.
Mm-hmm.
It was also threatening to make the bottom 2 stones like have a lot more territory, and it's threatening all the cutting points, right?
Something like that. So if we play out like some cool looking moves, like this, then maybe this can start activating. Now white's probably going to be alive, simply because this is just not enough space. But if I can threaten to kill you while making life, then all of a sudden I live,
Smart.
and then I can come back over here. Like this is throwing stones at the board, but that's the concept here. Is you can use that threat that you saw to make life, so you can get outside first and save all the stones that were dying.
If Calvin doesn't back off here, he is just winning by a lot, but because he backs off, it remains close. Someone needs to insert their paragraph here. Yes, I only have one joke.
Hey, look, it's activating your move. They're activating your plan. We gave up the right side stone, which is a little interesting, but now instead of white having this, black has broken through, and this is floating, and now that can go around and get control of all of that. And this is why control is more important than the groups. So, pros and cons. It's even because territory is really big.
Clossi Approach. Don't die.
Don't die.
But also, when you get high enough level, you can let some stones perish.
It's not dying if you win the game. Like if you win the game, it's not dying. I hate it when like I hear like my students say, I saw that it couldn't live, so I sacrificed it. That's not how it works. I know. Sacrifice is an intentional death, not I accepted that I was dead. There's a big difference.
If it's already dead, it's not a sacrifice.
Yeah. Also, there's a big thing that just because strong players don't live doesn't mean that they can't. Like, if they wanted to live, they would. They could.
Me.
Like, if they wanted to make their groups alive, easy life. They would immediately have it. They might give up the influence everywhere, but if they wanted life, they could live, which is something the my students and DDKs don't know yet. Is like, oh, but the strong players ignore the group, and I'm like, yes, because there's more value. But if they want to live, they can. If you're like, I ignore the group because I don't know how to live, that's not a choice. That is of just
That is-
not accepting the position.
That's the acceptance phase.
Yeah, you accept that you're dead. No, that's not a strategy. That is, you need to know and have a choice. If you're not having that choice, if you can't live because you don't know how, then you don't need to worry about strategy at that point. Okay, that's a lot of profit. Don't do this, kids. You make cash on the 4th line or 3rd line. Don't go 5th line. 5th line too high because 5th line, they can come under and destroy all the points. But apparently, if you're strong enough, 5th line is now good.
Well, I'm assuming it's because it also puts pressure on that.
Yeah,
center.
they want to be closer to put more pressure on these white stones. That's the reason. But just understand that there's a lot of ways to take this away if black doesn't handle it well, and that is because it's on the 5th line. But keeping the max pressure on the group is more important.
Trevok said, didn't we see Eric Yoder use the Joseki in the NE corner in the Pro Quals Northeast, I guess?
I did not see the games of the Pro Quals. I might make I really need to make a YouTube video series out of it, but technically I did not watch them because I was trying to focus on work, which is honestly why I haven't been watching Congress. I'm trying not to get distracted so I can focus on work because I'm trying to code SomegaDragon.com 45 to 50 hours a week to make it better for you guys, which you can do and subscribe, support, and whatnot, and you can get Congress 24 to get 50% off your first month. Even after like the 50% wears off, it's only $10 a month, and I'm working on it full time in order to make it better for you. So if there's anything you want, join the Discord, let me know. And at $10 a month for an app that someone is working full time to make better for you to use and make your game improve. And I'm also like trying to brainwash you to be better at the game. That's part of like the flows that I'm creating is like, look at this thing, and then you play it. Look at that problem over there, then you do it. Look at that over there. And then I'm just slowly like walking you to being a stronger player. Because I make you do the things that typically you don't like doing.
Hey, I've done like 6,000 problems in the last year, which is more than I've done in the rest of my life ever.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you've done 6,000, and before before I started building the app, you hadn't done 200.
I don't even know if I've done one.
Years.
I can't go problems.
Yeah, okay,
It
everything's
makes it so
fine,
much
everything's
more
fine. White's just getting stones real quick. Okay, yeah. White's just getting stones real quick. Like, nothing is going to change here.
You should get up to Eric levels 10,000 a month. Jesus Christ.
I technically get close to that. It's just a lot of testing the beginner problems. Yeah. I think I did 8,000 problems intentionally one month, but well over 10,000 if you're including the testing of stuff and all that good stuff, because I have to like test the variations and I have to make sure there's wrong branches. And dude, I've done freaking a lot of puzzles. However, because I'm doing it with the find the wrong stuff, make the beginner stuff enjoyable, blah, 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 I've gotten worse at doing puzzles. I've gotten weaker at the game.
Hey, that still means that you can do 3,000 in a month.
If you're on Somego Dragon, you can 100 should be easier if you're doing the easy ones. However, there is a generate list of difficult ones for your level that I have added. So that one would be a hard.
He's really annoyed at his own feature
hate
because
that
it's
feature.
making him think.
Dude, I like being lazy and just doing hundreds of the SDK problems. But then my little button that I created to make players like better at the game, I do, and it loads me difficult life and death problems that I suck at, which is why it's loading them for me. And I'm like, no, now I have to think. That's not fair.
Because it takes your 100 most recent missed problems, and then it figures out the top 3 categories and the top 2 levels that you're listed in, and then generates a list based on that.
Yeah, it tracks your mistakes and then generates the list based on those mistakes.
Which is cool.
I'm smart at coding, not so much at Go lately. So this is just squeezing this stone. Right now, we're just really focused on this group getting down here to make life, while also attacking this group, which is trying to get down here to make life. And the big key here is black is trying to cash out while these two groups are fighting.
Like I said, my reading has gotten a lot better, I think, but I misclick a lot at Puzzle Rush. Dude, Puzzle Rush is so good. That's a spicy move.
It's looking at the cutting points,
yeah,
but
and it's looking at like 3 different ways to connect out, but still, that's those are fighting words.
Well, I don't expect that white is going to get cut here because there's too many moves out here for white to have left a cutting point. What I expect is being done is black is poking out all of the eye shape while threatening to cut, and then going to come back down its round. That is what I am expecting to happen. Shows what I know. Wow, immediately proven wrong, I think. Kind of. Oh, the reading here. There's lots of reading.
Huh?
Okay. If I go here...
What?
There's no way you sacrifice this, right?
What happens if white gets to move the black plate?
Huh?
Because black just like dropped the 4 stone. So what happens if white goes there?
White just makes an eye with points. So it's not a big deal for black to give it up. But like, if I connect, then there's a cutting point. That's a big deal. That matters.
Paige said black is more scared of dying on the outside. G12.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Because there's so much cash right here. So if this makes life, does that mean white's going to get more
G12
right here?
Is small?
G.
That's the cut that you were talking about.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is they're saying that this is threatening this, but that cut is not big enough because black is too worried about this. And so white is going to be able to attack this, get cash down here, keep the initiative, and still go back and fix that.
Gross.
That has to be what they're reading. That's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah. Apparently that's fine. And so for black losing it, it's not really that big of a deal for black. Black only loses a couple points. For white losing it, that's like 20 points. So that's an interesting move. But okay, interesting thought. Still trading cash for cash right now. Everyone's trying to get profit.
He also said black takes Gote twice to kill it.
Yeah. Gote meaning losing the initiative. Your opponent gets to play somewhere else 2 times. Yeah, it looks pretty big, but it can be considered small. It just takes a lot of guts to play it.
See, for me, that's super scary.
Yeah. That's a lot of cash. But this is... As soon as this starts attacking this black group, this is going to be a lot of cash too.
Black's really got to, like, poke down, right?
Mm-hmm. We got to do something soonish. Yeah, this is just a lot of, like, leaving some weaknesses laying around. I don't expect anything crazy to happen there. Just give more forcing moves on the outside. Shows what I know. As soon as I speak, they prove me wrong. That's cool if it works.
Why would you not just play D8?
Well, then they just get the point. This is the first thing to consider.
Lesson learned. Never speak. See, but then that gets sketchy. Which is why I like D8 a lot better.
Well, yeah, but you're supposed to read this at this level. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Paige said Donatari at D5, Ajikeshi.
D. Ah. That makes sense.
Give black a liberty at F4 by playing D5.
Mm-hmm. There's lots of question marks. Oh my gosh, I would spend so much time here. I'm just imagining the amount of effort that you would have to put in to read all of this at Go Congress. Oh, it's so taxing mentally. It's so much easier being a commentator. Well, yeah, if there's something there.
That's right.
The thing is, Dawn players and pros will put in tons of effort to not lose 1 point. It's ridiculous the amount of effort that goes into not losing 1 point. Really? There's still more here? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense because this leaves a cutting point, whereas that now there's no cutting point. That makes sense. We lose 2 points, but the shape on the outside is stronger. That just makes sense.
Last year, I had a game in the Masters that was only 5 minutes long. How?
That's crazy.
How? Elaborate, ma'am.
They didn't know the Joseki, the corner pattern. They messed up a corner pattern. This shouldn't live. So I'm expecting it.
I killed Tyler in less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
Good for you.
I'm expecting black to use the weaknesses of these stones to make life. That is what I'm expecting to happen here.
Simon Yoon says, as a Dawn player, I can confirm I try my best to save every point and then blunder 20 points later in the game.
Exactly.
That smacked him right over the head with the board and walked out. Sarcasm. But no, I killed him on the board.
Yeah, okay, so exactly how I thought I would go.
We have another Clossi joining us. Hello.
Hello.
This game's awful.
There's
There's so many weaknesses
honestly,
everywhere all the time.
I like black, but I'm surprised it's only by 3 points.
Really?
Black's ahead right now by 3 points.
Oh.
At this point in the game.
You can see the score right here.
That's neat.
Paige said, hi, Austin.
Hello.
So this is just leaving the forcing moves for endgame. Okay, so this one's a little tricky, but it's pretty easy, I think.
I mean, that's like a reduction move, right? You put it on the
Yeah, so what you're doing is you're making sure white doesn't get right here for free to force you to live and then get all of that cash for free. So you're going to take away the cash while living. So that it's just a little bit of a points difference, but still black is making life. Black is just making sure white doesn't get too many points while doing it. Yeah, so it's not too difficult to understand. Oh, this is actually something that's pretty important. Many players make this sort of shape in their middle game, this sort of like fat elephant shape, where it's like 2 diagonal, right? This is a very common bad shape because of the weaknesses right here. All the cutting weaknesses right here can really mess up your position in the middle game. And this is something I see a lot when I'm reviewing Q games. So make sure that you're very cautious with this sort of shape. There's a lot of weaknesses right here. And that's actually exactly what black is bullying right now, is the fat elephant. Okay.
Is that what it's actually called?
No, I'm calling it that because the diagonal 1-point jump is an elephant. So this little awkward looking elephant, I'm just calling the fat elephant.
Yeah, I said, I think I saw Jay playing Eric Yoder today. That'll be a fun game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Jay and Eric are playing. I'm not sure if their game's over yet. Probably not.
Probably not, but...
It's always bloody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Jay and Eric, so...
my expectation would be that Eric...
Hello, Bats!
Hey, that's...
My expectation is that Eric would win, but we shall see. Yeah, so it looks like the rest is just going to be a good endgame.
Like, for the Congress standings in general? Or Jay tilts really hard versus Eric and it will affect his other rounds if he does win? Yeah.
The mental game is really hard to keep up with after a loss. That's why winning on a winning streak, you're like your best performance.
Basically me with the cake.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's basically it.
Eric is obnoxious over the Go board, especially if you have lived with him and played with while living with him. I can imagine.
Honestly, I think I have enough experience dealing with so many different players that I don't really get affected by the person specifically. What I get affected by is when I do something really stupid. So I get tilted by myself. The other person doesn't really affect me all that much. Like, I could take a pro, like, mentally, I would be like, let's go. But if I do something stupid, I'll tilt myself.
And then punch a tree.
And then punch a tree.
Not anymore. Thank goodness.
Okay. So
What
that
is
is the second game we're gonna look at. Let's see how the games are going. Dadgum, there's still not even like halfway through the middle game. So we still got a good ways to go.